All right, so this week, remember, we have been working on connecting pictures with the text. So today, as we read the story, Thanks, George, by Hannah Ford, we need to think about how do the pictures match the story in the passage? How do they connect? So let's look here at our words we should know first. So that way we can clear up any of these unknown words before we begin. This word burrs are those pokey things that you see sometimes outside, like especially if you're running through a field. Okay. If you're running through a field or something, and you sometimes might step on like one of those prickly pokies, right? Get stuck on your foot or your socks or your pants. Those are burrs. They're those little sticky plants. They are no fun. We also have this word fibers. Fibers are part of a fabric. So you'll notice, like, if you look really close at my sweater, you can kind of see the fibers, right? The little threads up there. Those are fibers. And then we have fabric, which are things like your clothes are made out of. Your clothes are made out of fabric. Blankets are made out of fabric. So fabric is like that knit or woven material that makes clothes and blankets and things like that. So these are some words we're going to see as we read today. Now, looking at these keywords, looking at these pictures, I see a pair of shoes with like the Velcro strap, kind of like the little kids wear, right? And I see these prickly plants. They look like kind of like a cactus where it's really pokey. So as I'm reading, I'm going to learn something about shoes and something about these plants. I don't know how they're connected yet, but based on the pictures, I know that some part of the story is going to connect those two things together. So let's start reading page 1. Rip. That familiar sound is what we might hear when we undo our shoes or open our backpacks. It's Velcro. One side is fuzzy, the other side is prickly. I'm going to change my highlight here to a blue just because the background's yellow and it'd be hard to see. So I know one side is fuzzy, the other side is prickly. It sort of feels like a prickly plant. Well, that's because a prickly plant was the inspiration for Velcro. George Mestral, the man who invented Velcro,
pages, by the way,
lived in a country in Europe called Switzerland. One day, he was hiking in the Jura Mountains near his home. When he came home, he found lots of sticky burrs in his pants and his socks. What makes these stick, he wondered. He decided to look at them under a microscope. So now let's look at page 2. So I know it's about how these sticky burrs inspired his idea to create Velcro. And I know Velcro is that material that you sometimes find like on backpacks and shoes where it sticks together and you rip it off and it goes rip, but it fastens two things together, connects two things together. So let's read page 2 and see what else we learn. I see I have some pictures here. I have like a pair of like jeans, it looks like, with those little sticky burrs on them. I have a picture of a Velcro strap. It shows me the sticky side here, like the rough side, and then the really soft side on the other one. And what? An astronaut helmet. And it's pointing to like this strap here.
I wonder.
Oh, we'll talk about it later. And it shows this Velcro strap here on his helmet. So somehow throughout my reading, it's going to connect all of these ideas. So let's start at the top and read. Close up, George saw that each little spike on the burr ended in a hook. That's really important. Each of these little spikes end in a hook. When he looked at the fibers of his pants and socks, he noticed they were little loops. So the fibers, the little fabrics on the pants and on the socks, if you were to look under a microscope, you would see that they're tiny little loops, which you can kind of tell when you look really, really closely that they're little loops together. That got George thinking. These things have real sticking power. Imagine if they could stick things together in a useful way. So instead of just being itchy on his pants or socks, they could actually be useful. After many years of experimenting, George was able to recreate the sticking power of those little burrs. He made 2 pieces of fabric. One piece was covered in those prickly hooks, and the other was covered in soft, fuzzy loops. You put them together, and they hung on tight. With a hearty tug, they came apart. George was eager to share his invention. A lot of people told him it was silly, but George knew better. He knew that his invention could take the place of many fasteners like shoelaces or buckles or little clasps and things. Zippers, buttons, pins, and shoelaces would all become a thing of the past, he claimed. In 1951, he patented his invention. He named it Velcro, a combination of the words velour, which means velvet, and crochet, which means hook. He began manufacturing it, sure that he would have thousands of uses, and he was right. Velcro's first big fan was NASA. Astronauts had lots of bulky equipment to put on and to take off. Velcro proved to be a strong and easy to pull off fastener for spacesuits. It could hold tools in place also so they wouldn't float away. Skiers also wear bulky suits. They liked how Velcro fasteners held tight and opened easily. Sneaker makers saw Velcro straps as kid-friendly. Even toddlers can fasten and unfasten those straps. From something that most people find annoying, George Mestrel gave us a wonderful convenience. The next time you hear that, thank him. So this story connects these pictures. Now I understand why they're there. The burrs are there to show how he got his idea. He was inspired by these prickly hooks. And then he starts to think, maybe we can stick them together in a useful way. And then when it tells us the 2 pieces of fabric and explains it, it shows the second picture. The second picture is showing us the loops and showing us the sticky part, the really rough part with all the hooks on it. And the astronaut helmet even, it shows us how the astronauts had lots of bulky equipment and they really liked how easy it was to just strap it on and strap it off. Think about when you are playing in the snow. If you have gloves on, it's really hard to try and put other things on, or like zip up your zippers, right? Well, astronauts in their spacesuits have those sort of gloves. So it's important for them that they can get their suits together really quickly and easily. Go ahead, Alejandra.
I went to the snow, and then guess what? Then it was then my mom threw my gloves away because they were in the snow for a long time, and then the snow melted, so she threw them away.
Yeah, that happens sometimes because if the water stays in it, then sometimes they can get kind of gross and moldy. But yeah, sometimes when you're wearing those big snow gloves, it can be hard to pick things up and find stuff, right? That's why Velcro is so nice if you're in the snow or in space. So we're going to answer some of these questions. Now, this is the end of the week assessment. So all week we've been practicing how pictures are connected to the text and how they help us better understand, how they help us better understand the story. So we're going to answer some of these questions using the pictures and the text. Number 1 has 2 parts. Part A says, how did George Maestro come up with the idea for Velcro? Did he look at the unusual fasteners on hiking clothes? Did he see special fabrics that were fuzzy on one side and prickly on the other? Had he been asked to invent a new type of fastener? Or did he notice that burrs were sticking to his pants and socks after a hike? How did he come up with this idea? What inspired him? Go ahead and make your choice.
I found it.
You can try it. It's chocolate.
I found it right there.
That's okay. It's chocolate. Part B says, which answer best supports your answer for part A? Now remember, all of these are from the passage, but you need to decide which one shows that he came up with this idea. He was inspired by something. Close up, George saw that each little spike on the burr ended in a hook. After many years of experimenting, George was able to recreate the sticking power of the little burrs. He named it Velcro, a combination of the words velour and crochet. Even toddlers could fasten and unfasten the straps. Which one helped him come up with the idea? Not after it was created, before. Which one helped him think about, this could be really useful? So you're going to circle or highlight one of these. And then here, how does that show? How do you know it helped him come up with it? That's the key words here. He came up with the idea. So go ahead and take a minute to do that. Were you supposed to record on that page?
No, I'm not supposed to record anything.
Okay,
I'm
let's just
supposed
test
to
it.
write down.
That's fine. All right, the next question is question 2. According to both the photographs and the text, how is a burr similar to Velcro? So think about, what did the text say and what did the pictures show? Do they both grow on a plant? Are they both a brownish color? Do they both have tiny hooks at the ends? Are they both shaped like tiny zippers? They are not shaped like tiny zippers. So thinking about A, B, and C, which one shows how burrs are similar to Velcro? Go ahead and highlight or circle your choice. He's just doing his work in here. What's up?
No.
Well, I'm recording, so.
Oh.
I've got it muted right now, but do you need something?
I was gonna like lunch if not.
I'm not done until 11 or until 12:30.
Okay.
Is
What?
this right? We're supposed to write words.
Yes. Good job.
I'll go at like 12:15. You want tacos, right?
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Let me know in the chat when you are done, please.
We type in the chat when we're done with page 3.
Yes, when you are done with page 3, go ahead and type it in the chat. That way I know when we're ready to move on to page 4.
Oh, I have to write. Mug. I fit from my mug. Look, I see a bug. I run to Mom with it and put on the rug. My pup sits the bug on the road. He runs, and falls in the mud.
Good job.
Finish 2 pages.
Awesome. All right. So question 3 says to reread paragraph 4 and look at the photographs. Which 2 of the following explain how Velcro is made? So I'm going to go back and reread paragraph 4 for us. We need to think about how does it explain how Velcro is made. So paragraph 4 is on page 2. Here we go. After many years of experimenting, George was able to recreate the sticking power of the little burrs. He made 2 pieces of fabric. One piece that was covered in prickly hooks, the other was covered in soft, fuzzy loops. Put them together and they hung on tight. With a hearty tug, rip, they came apart. And then when I look, I see the picture of the burrs on the pants, and I see the picture of the Velcro, how it has the 2 pieces. So now when I look at this question, I need to think which 2 of these explain how Velcro is made. Is it made with spikes and hooks pulled from burrs? That means that they grabbed one of those burrs, they pulled the hooks from it to use the Velcro. Does it use 2 different pieces of fabric? Does it use the same fibers that socks are made from? Does it have prickly hooks on one side and loops on the other? Is it made from velvet? Does it have special fasteners that act like laces? And does it use hooks called crochets? Think about how it is made. That's the really important part. How is Velcro made? Go ahead and choose 2 of those, not just one, choose 2 of them. So Natalie, make sure, go ahead and go back to page 4 with us if you finished some of these questions, but make sure that you chose 2 for this one. What is velvet? Velvet is a really soft fabric. Remember it said that he came up with the word Velcro for velvet and crochet. But that doesn't mean it's made from velvet. That's where he got the idea for the name from.
Last one ate some bread.
Good job.
Want to hear what Miss Rumbley taught me? That I could just be done with just cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, I finished that whole assignment.
Good job.
Now can I show you?
No, we got to finish all of our ELA ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question 4. What is one reason astronauts first started to use Velcro? So when we think back to what they said about astronauts, I'm going to go back and reread it. It says,
Oh, trying to see what I was missing. I did this at Miss Hazard's, but I didn't have time to write the whole thing because we were moving on to something else.
Okay. So you need paper to write it?
Yeah. I just got to I just read the whole sentence. I just didn't have time to take a picture.
That's okay. Just write it again. It's a short sentence. Oh man, this is taking a minute to load, isn't it? When it was telling us about the astronauts, it said that they had their big astronaut suits. They were big and bulky. They're in space, so they don't want things floating away. And so they really liked Velcro because it held tools in place. It helped with their bulky equipment, all of that. So once my seesaw cooperates, let me try refreshing the page. 3-finger grip. Thank you.
I did a perfect day though. See?
I know. It's great, but you still need to use 3-finger grip. Oh man, I'm glitching out here. In just a second, you guys.
Can you write this? Because I already write in the whole sentence before I just couldn't take the picture.
You have to write it. It's your job. You can do it. She wants you to write it, but she doesn't want to see my handwriting. She wants to see yours. You're halfway done with your sentence already. You're fine. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. My computer's being a little slow here. So I was talking about how astronauts had bulky equipment to take on and off. It had to be a really strong fastener to help hold their tools in place when they were in space. So here we go.
I may need help.
Oh, we're on page 4.
Tiny letters.
You can do it. Just use more than one line. So what is one reason the astronauts first started to use Velcro? Did it hold the tools in place so they wouldn't float away? Did it allow astronauts to wear sneakers? Did it allow astronauts to walk inside of a spaceship? Or did it help astronauts walk safely on the moon? What did the text say about why astronauts liked Velcro so much? And then in that same paragraph, it tells you why was it popular with skiers? Why did people who ski really like Velcro? So you can use your text tool to type.
There.
Good job. Take a picture of it. Skiers like Velcro because, oh, come on. It's the second time today.
I mean, see, it's squishy.
Here.
Need help.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm so sorry that this is acting this way again. So why do skiers like Velcro? I'm going to type it in the chat here so you guys have it in both places.
There. Now I'm finished. I just have finished that one page.
Good job. So in the chat, skiers like Velcro because what? It's in the chat.
Green apple.
Really. Here we go. Maybe it'll let me type this time, huh? Skiers like Velcro because. There we go. So why do skiers like Velcro? It was also in that same paragraph as the astronauts. Go ahead and type done when you're ready to move on to the next page. I can't see any of your cameras on, so it's hard for me to tell when you were finished and when you're ready to move on. I can see some of your screens and some of you, it says that it's loading, so my internet's kind of slow. So let me know.
Mom. I probably want to show you something.
Finish this activity and then you can show me. Okay? Look, it only has a few pages.
This is it.
Okay. Buddy, have a seat. Let me know when you're ready for the next page. You can stand up if you want to, but don't mess with your PJs. So Natalie, I'm going to send that back to you. You shouldn't have turned it in just yet because you need the writing prompt for the last page. Remember, we talked about this the other day too. Don't turn things in early. Wait till I say that you can turn them in. Because otherwise you're going to be missing a lot of points on that last page. All right, as you're finishing this up, I'm going to move to page 5.
I'm finished with this page, but
It says, what are the, he knew the invention could take the place of many fasteners. Zippers, buttons, pins, and shoelaces would all become a thing of the past, he claimed. Hold on just a second. What are 2 ways to figure out the meaning of fasteners? What does fastener mean when it says it would take the place of many fasteners? Could we use the meaning invention, which means something similar? Does invention and fastener mean the same thing? A fastener is a type of invention, but it does not mean that it means the same thing as invention. Could we use the examples in the next sentence, which are the objects used to join things together? Does fasten mean to join things together? Can we think about the meaning of fasten, which means to hold in place? Can we think about the meaning of fast, which means quick? Or can we break the word fasteners down into 2 smaller words? Fast and inner. Inner is not a word, so it is not E. There's not 2 smaller words in that word. It's not a compound word. So between B, C, and D, just a second. Between B, C, and D, you need to choose 2 choices that help you understand the meaning of the word fastener. Go ahead.
thin bag
Brook.
One place
Past.
and it went past a
Crooked.
crooked bench.
Good job. The next question says, why is Velcro most useful on clothing meant for children? Because children usually wear bulky clothing. Velcro makes a ripping sound that children enjoy. Velcro straps are easy to fasten and unfasten. It can be used to hold caps and gloves in place. Why is it most useful? Why is it most useful for kids? Go ahead.
Bug stood
Shaking
at the top, and Bug get down and not slip in this
racing. That sound is brook. Yes, good. So why is it most useful for children? And question 8 says, which sentence does the photograph of the astronaut on page 291 help you understand? Remember, it shows the picture of the astronaut's helmet with the strap on it. He knew the invention could take the place of many fasteners. Velcro's first big fan was NASA.
I already know these fake words.
Okay. It could hold tools in place so they wouldn't float away. Astronauts had lots of bulky equipment to put on and take off. Thinking about that picture that showed the astronaut's helmet and his suit, and it showed how the Velcro helped hold things in the helmet in place. Which one of those best matches that picture?
Miss Hauser taught me how to do this.
Good.
And then
So Natalie, you should have reopened this. My Go Guardian's moving kind of slow today, so I can't tell if you've reopened it or not. But we're going to move on to the next page in a minute with that written response. So I want to make sure you have it open to double check everything.
I'm almost going to have to record.
Okay, Harrison.
Can a fan in it land can sit in the sun and land can sit in the sun. Land has a fan for the hot sun. The fan is in the fan is in his van. Can a fan can and a pan in the van. He will pick the pan and the can from the van.
Good job.
There, finished with one whole sentence.
Very good. Okay. Now you can show me your Minecraft really quick. All right. So on number 9, our short response. This is very similar to the one we did yesterday, where it's asking about how do the words and the photos connect. That's our skill we're working on this week. It says, write a paragraph explaining how Velcro works. Use details from both the text and the photographs in your answer. So your response should look something like this.
I have my house.
Mm-hmm.
A dungeon.
Oh, wow.
And you want to see what's in my chest?
Oh, we've got lots of stuff. Velcro works by what? How does Velcro work? That's your first question to answer. How does Velcro work? What are the 2 pieces you need for Velcro? The next question it asks is, what does the text say? The text says, and tell me, what does the text say about how Velcro is made or how Velcro works? And then what do the photos show? The photos show what? So for these questions, I'm going to want to look back on page 2. Page 2, next to the picture of those burrs and the picture of the Velcro, it'll show you what the burrs and Velcro look like. And on the paragraphs next to it, paragraphs 3 and 4, it tells you all about how Velcro works. So you might say Velcro works by having a piece with tiny loops and another piece with tiny hooks that fasten together or that connect together. The text says that Velcro has a soft side made of a bunch of tiny loops. This was, or you could say that the text says that he came up with the idea because when he looked at his pants, they had tiny loops on them.